If you guys saw my last video where I spent the day with my best friend Alex, you may recall that the first thing we did was go see an early screening for the Pixar's latest original movie, Hoppers. I gave some brief thoughts on it, but after sitting on it for a few days, I wanted to make a review on it like I've done with my Toy Story review. Although the movie hasn't officially released as of me recording this, I won't go into spoilers like I did with Toy Story. When I saw the reveal for Hoppers from D23, I had a lot of interest in the film, especially when I found out that Daniel Chong was the one behind the director's chair, as I knew him from his work on the Cartoon Network series We Bare Bears. I watched it all the time when it aired, and I loved what I watched, except that one episode with Chloe's professor. I was eager to know more about the film, and then just under a month after the release of Pixar's last movie, Elio, we got our first teaser trailer. Technically, we had a small teaser play at the end of showings of Elio in the form of a lizard spamming the lizard emoji with text-to-speech on, but in the UK, that teaser never played, and I know this because whenever I went to go see a Pixar movie, I always stayed until the end to see their logo. Very weird, I know, but I just like seeing the logo every time. And yeah, they just didn't have the teaser at the end of Elio. Anyways, the official teaser released, and I loved the presentation, and I got a good laugh at the joke they made about the concept being the same to James Cameron's Avatar. That showed to me that Pixar has now let go of the idea of scrapping a film because it's similar to something else, like what happened with Newt for being too similar to Rio. As we got more and more news, the excitement from me just got bigger. I was surprised it was getting early screenings the weekend before release, and since I was going to Mondo Pixar at the time, I looked to see what the nearest cinema was and picked out a showing to go see that was in line with my ticket for Mondo Pixar. Despite working for a cinema, the one I went to was unfortunately not the same company. But it's not often I buy tickets for movies now, and with it being Pixar, I wanted to contribute to the film's box office. I have seen Hoppers 3 times as of this recording, the just mentioned early screening the day I went to Mondo Pixar. Then there was the BFI South Bank showing with a Q&A with the film's director, producer, and 3 cast members, and then that same day I went back to the cinema I work for to see it one more time. So after seeing it 3 times early, what do I think of Pixar's newest original film? Let's find out. This is my review on Hoppers. So what's the story? As mentioned at the start of this video, because this is a new movie, I won't be going into the entire plot. In other words, this will be a spoiler-free review. We meet a girl named Mabel, voiced by Pepper Curda. She's trying everything she can to protect the glade that was special to her and her late grandmother, as the mayor of Beaverton, Jerry, voiced by John Hamm, is turning the area into part of a highway while in the middle of re-election. One day she talks to a professor at the college she goes to named Dr. Sam, voiced by Kathy Najimy. Mabel goes on about how all the animals from the glade have gone missing. Mabel tries to get them to come back, but to no results. Then she stumbled upon what Dr. Sam was doing outside of normal college hours. She's been trying to tap into the animal world and managed to create a system where they can put one's mind into the body of a robot animal. In this case, a beaver. Mabel takes his chance to go in and search for a beaver to help her get the glade back. Doing so, she meets a beaver king named George, voiced by Bobby Moynihan. They all work together to get the glade back, while the humans are trying to prevent the animals from coming back. And the Animal Council have plans to kill Jerry. So Maple and George have got to take matters into their own hands before something goes horribly wrong. Something I learned from the Q&A screening I went to at the BFI South Bank Cinema was that before Pixar went with beavers for the film, the main animal they were going to use originally was penguins. But after some more thought, they chose not to, as there was plenty of animated films already with penguins as the focus. Now they can't picture doing the film without beavers, and I think they made the right choice. Despite having a familiar plot to Avatar, which the film pokes fun at, I think where the film stands out is its comedy, and of course the heartfelt moments between Mabel and her grandmother. At times, those moments almost made me get emotional. If there was something I wish they could have done more on, was show more of how Mabel had a rivalry with Jeffrey. It just happens at first, and then all we get after is just Mabel saying that she doesn't like Jerry. There is some more time with the two later in the film, but I still feel it was a bit underdeveloped. The animal characters like George, Loaf, Ellen Bear, and Tom Lizard were some of the highlights in regards to the film's comedy. They honestly steal the show sometimes. The other animals we see, such as the council members, I did get a laugh from each member, and I think that's all they really needed to be at times. Then there's the son of the insect queen, Titus, voiced by Dave Franco, which was a surprise at first. I think he puts on a memorable villain role. I wouldn't say he's the highest top tier Pixar villain or anything, but he does feel like a threat when he is on screen. The only other characters to talk about is Dr. Sam and the other scientists that work with her. The other two scientists are just there to help the plot move forward. I did get a chuckle from a line or two, but for the most part, I thought they were just pretty fine characters, not something I'd see in someone's top 10 Pixar characters list. As for Dr. Sam though, I liked how passionate she is about the hopping technology, and loved how defensive she got when Mabel compared it to Avatar. She was trying to guide Mabel at times and get her back safely, and I can tell that despite being over the top with that, it shows that she cares and not once yells at her for being reckless, as she knows Mabel is new to the hopping technology. Lastly, there's Jerry. He is so silly. At times it made me wonder how could Mabel hate such a man. At one point I did think he was being a bit dickish and does some typical stuff a mayor would do in fiction, but other times I just found him funny and I do like what happens by the end with him. It still falls under the whole underdeveloped thing I mentioned involving the rivalry with Mabel. So we have a nice unique take of its plot and some fun characters to engage with. The visuals in animation, as always for Pixar, is top notch. They went with a new look for the human characters, mostly sending Mabel and her grandmother and Dr. Sam and Jerry, whereas all the other humans in this film feel more consistent to how humans are usually presented in newer Pixar films. Still very good with the attention to details like a guy's facial hair and threads on one's clothing. The highlight is when they go to the glade and the rest of the forest. It is so beautiful to look at. It makes me just want to go there. Of course the animals look fantastic as well, and I love the detail from the humans' perspective where they just have black circle eyes, but from the animals' point of view, they have more cartoony eyes with the white and black pupils. I say where the animation on the characters shines is a lot of the comedy aspects of the film, with the slapstick and some action moments we get near the end of the second act and going into the third act. I especially love when Titus goes over the top in one part of the third act. I won't spoil it, but I did get a good laugh from it. Something I've started to notice in modern Pixar when it comes to the score of certain films is that they now hire someone who hasn't previously done a Pixar movie. Some exceptions like Michael Giacchino for Lightyear, Thomas Newman for Elemental, and recently confirmed Randy Newman returning to score Toy Story 5. But since 2020, they've opened the doors to new composers, and that's the case now with Hoppers having its score be done by Mark Mothersbaugh, who previously did a Minecraft movie, various Sony Pictures animation films, and Thor Ragnarok. While Mothersbaugh has done some pieces for Pixar's shorts via Toy Story tunes and Cars tunes, this is his first Pixar movie. I loved his work on other projects like Cloudy with Chance of Meatballs and Thor Ragnarok, so the same can be said here again for his work on Hoppers. I love its mix of beautiful landscapes, funky beats, and sci-fi aspects. We also got an original song by SZA, called Save the Day. Very simple in its lyrics and tune, but I love it for that. I found it catchy and memorable because of it. So overall, as you can imagine, I love this movie. Shocking to no one who knows me very well when it comes to Pixar. The comedy was really funny, one of Pixar's funniest. Not the funniest, but still a really funny movie to watch. The heartfelt moments do hit pretty close for anyone who may relate to what Mabel's going through in the film. I didn't go to tears when I watched it 3 times, but it did feel pretty close. To all those who gave Pixar a low reputation this decade, I think Hoppers is the one to turn it around. After seeing how mixed people have felt of their newer original films and the box office performances, especially on Elio, I think Hoppers has a strong chance to do well. It's already Pixar's highest rated movie of this decade with a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes as of this video, which before that was Soul and Turning Red with 95%. So if you're wanting to see an original Pixar film, definitely give Hoppers a watch. Try it in 4DX either with or without 3D. Though I only recommend that if you can handle that sort of thing, as that's not always for everybody. With how crazy the film gets, it's fine just to see a regular 2D viewing, or a standard 3D viewing if you're into that. Hoppers may not be the most original concept for a film, but what it does is very unique with fun characters and moments that may get you in the heartstrings. So there you go. That was my review on Hoppers. I hope people give the film a chance, since not many people did with Elemental and Elio. So hopefully Hoppers breaks that cycle. I am planning to see it more in the cinema once it's officially released. I've already watched it 3 times, as I mentioned in this review, and I still get enjoyment each time that I go see it. I would like to mention as well, I am going to be doing reviews on the previous Pixar movies that I haven't done already, just like I did with the first Toy Story, as I enjoyed doing that review and this review on Hoppers. And with Toy Story 5 being the next project that we get from Pixar, I think it's best that I cover all the Toy Story movies first. And then I'll also throw in the Buzz Lightyear Star Command movie and of course Lightyear. So stay tuned for that. If you have already seen Hoppers, what do you think of it? Let me know in the comments, and where does it rank on your Pixar ranking? With that said, I thank you all for watching. Shout out to my patrons, Typhoon and Andres, and my YouTube member BAG Gomez. Much appreciated, guys. If you would like to have your name at the end of the videos, all you have to do is follow the link in the description to either my Patreon or my YouTube membership, or just hit the join button if you want to do the YouTube membership. Either way is fine. So with that said, I thank you all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Blue Sky. All links will be links in the description down below, and I will see you all in the next video. So until then, take care. Bye!